Aries, and welcome to my channel, The Guided Intuitive, and I am here traveling here and doing a read for you. Okay, this will be you and the other person, and this will be for August 1st through the 15th, 2019. The other person could be a committed relationship, it could be someone you're dating, it could be a person of interest, it could also be a friend or family member, so just note that, okay? Now this will be a general read, so that goes without saying, my friends. Take what resonates, and definitely if it doesn't, then you're going to want to pass that on and leave it for another Aries or an Aries cross watcher, okay? All right, we're all at different levels of our soul journey, so regardless if you are an Aries, we're all at different levels, so it might be someone's past, present, or even someone's future that's yet to be, okay? So just note that, okay? And take the messages and what resonates. You may resonate with one side more than the other, or a message from one side or the other. You're gonna know, take what resonates and use that as your own guidepost to make your own decisions, and hopefully that will help. All right, so if you'd like a personal read, then go to theguidedintuitive.com and we will get you hooked up over there. All right, okay guys, so let's go ahead and see what we've got going on for you here for the month of April. This will be April 1st through the 15th, 2019. All right, do check out our store, guys, as well as our Facebook page at The Guided Intuitive. If you want to be involved in the group on our Facebook page, then just click the button that says visit group on The Guided Intuitive, and we'll get you all set up to go through that process. Okay, so let's see what's going to be the first card for you here. Okay, what is that? Ah, beautiful. Now this is Dance of the Plains, and quite gorgeous this is, as you can actually take a look at that. There's almost like a rainbow effect, and then there's two people holding hands that you can vaguely see through the light, but you see that they're both entering into this beautiful light together. Okay, now this might have to deal with you and a particular partner in some way, shape, or form. Okay, it's a 56 card, and the 56 reduces into an 11, which is a master number, right? So in fact, I know that the 57 card actually is the Lover's card right after in this particular deck. So it's almost as if you're moving through the portal and you're actually seeing the light in terms of a situation, or trying to see the light, or moving through the light together, okay? And so what this tells me is that there are forces that are, how do I want to say this? Where there's forces at hand that are larger than what you know, that actually are in charge of the destiny at work in your life right now. Okay, now they're not in disruptive harmony with you by any way, shape, or form. So if you may feel though that you're kind of maybe being blocked away, from maybe another from something, or maybe rocketed towards the heavens and on a roll that you just keep rolling down and rolling down. It's kind of like this tunnel, right? You just keep going in and going in and going in. And it's like you're losing control, and it's almost as if you're kind of surrendering to this process of two people kind of coming together. Here is what this looks like. And it's actually, you're being rocketed towards the heavens, and it's on a roll that can't derail you. So the planets are actually dancing as if they had an effect on your destiny at this time, okay? And it was meant to be at this time, okay? Because whatever's happening, if things aren't going well and things are falling apart, well, this is basically saying you need to trust that it's meant to be at this time, okay? Because any falling down is going to be the rising up again as well, okay? So all things are going to be happening in time, and it's according to higher wisdom, right? The greater wisdom that is coming at play. So the greater wisdom has its spiral effect on you, and it's almost like hypnotizing. It's like it has this hypnotizing effect on you that kind of leaves you like, what the hell is going on, right? In some way, shape, or form, that's kind of what's happening. And so that's what I'm finding out, within this card here. So all things are happening according to the wisdom of greater cycles, okay? And this is saying you have to trust those cosmic hypnotic cycles that are taking place that might be hard to explain, but yet are so strongly felt, okay? So that's what I feel is coming into play here. Now you've got the blues here that actually represent the throat chakra. You've got the purple that represents the crown chakra. And then, of course, this yellow you see represents the solar plexus. So it's really beautiful. It's like this culmination is coming together, you as your own body, but also in, with destiny as it relates to this type of union, this type of relationship in some way, shape, or form. So that's what I see that's coming. It's kind of the dancing of the planets. And this is just saying that it's okay to trust in this dancing of the planets, to trust in these cycles that you might not know where it's going to lead you down, in terms of, so you must feel like you're kind of going down that rabbit's hole in some way, shape, or form, right? But it's actually co-created with the divine to put you into a place that's going to unravel the story in a much better way. Okay, so this is something for you to note. Okay, so just pray to your source and focus on being surrendering in the process with grace, with unconditional love in the process as well. Okay, and let them work. Let these movements work through your life in such a way that you can make the most of it when it's kind of completed this particular cycle. Because these are the times, Aries, where big shifts are possible, and they're actually being supported by the cosmic movements. So again, pray for the grace. And all I gotta say, sweetie, is really enjoy the ride, okay? Enjoy the ride and surrender to that. And this could be in terms of a relationship. It might be a little hypnotic at times, a little crazy, like you're kind of rolling down the hill, not knowing where it's gonna go to. And I'm not laughing at you. I'm just kind of, the process sometimes is a little bit disheartening, and it can be a little confusing, but this is saying to trust. Okay. So that's what's coming about the dance of the planets. It wants you to dance with them. Okay. Now the next card that you get is knowing without knowing. Okay, so this is quite particular. I think we also had seen this in the Aquarius's read as well, but what this is saying is just knowing subconsciously in some way, shape, or form, without putting words to it, that you know something just without knowing. Now, it could be just the language between you and this other person, that you just feel some sort of connection. You feel some sort of telepathic communication in some way, shape, or form. So it's almost as if you can kind of connect without voicing anything. Okay, that's for some of you out there. And for another group of you, it might be just knowing where this is all really going to lead, and trusting in these planetary movements in the process, because you just have this feeling that all is well and will end well if you just let it unfold without having a particular shape in mind as to how it's going to be at the end, in whatever that is. It's about allowing things to be as they will be and what they will be, but knowing that it will be the best of what could ever be between you, if that makes sense. Okay, so it just kind of came about, and that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm seeing here. It's just knowing without knowing. You take a look at this, and it's like, what the heck is this? But you can also take a look at this and, kind of say, well, this is some sort of art. Perhaps this is someone that it's painting on a canvas in some way, shape, or form. There's a lot of different ways to look at this, and a lot of you artistically will look at this differently. But what it really is just saying, this being the yellow card, it reminds me of your solar plexus, which is your personal will, and just that knowing and that confidence in that, and just knowing that something is going to unfold as it should, and you are assured, and you almost as if in some part of you feels very calm, even though you feel at other times you might be going down the rabbit hole, and it could feel uncomfortable. You just know that whatever it's going to end up, it's going to be something that is going to be very per, you know, for your greatest good and your highest good, whatever that is. And there's some sort of calmness, and there's a thread of calmness in that. Okay, so note your comments. Let me know. This is a 41 card, which reduces to a 5, and 5s are talking about change. Okay, so that's what's kind of coming into play. So how interesting is that? What else do we have for you here? The Temple. Okay, so this is, again, it's a 59 card that reduces to what, a 13, 9, 14, I'm sorry, 14, which reduces to a 5, another 5 card. So what this is telling me is that there is some change that is happening in a relationship and with this other person, okay? There's change going on with you, but there's also change going on with another person. And I think you could possibly, in some way, shape, or form, be mirroring each other in some way, okay? So that's kind of what's coming into play here. But when I get the Temple card, what this is also signifying is somehow, some way that it wants you to find this calmness and this sacredness within you. Okay, now that could be within your own soul, or find that sacredness within you throughout this kind of process that's happening here that might be hard to put words to find that temple within. And that's almost why I think maybe that's that calmness that we find here, knowing without knowing that whatever you come on into is going to lead you to something that is going to be of greater good, and a sanctuary of some sort, a sanctuary for your heart. And you know, it says you're kind of in need of also this temple type of type of sacred space, and that could be through a connection with someone. It could be through a dance. It could be through meditation. It even could be through intimacy, you know, making love. It even could be, you know, very beautiful, like surrendering into the moment with a loved one, okay, or surrendering to the moment as this takes place as well. You know, that change. And this is saying is that, do you remember, you know, do you remember that your body is a temple? And saying, set some time aside and, you know, really put things aside and make the focus more on you, and enriching that goddess or God, you know, like beautiful features within you, whether that's you're sharing that with another, or you are getting a massage, you're listening to your favorite music, because what's happening is that sensuality, it really wants to come out and play. And so it wants to explore all the senses, you know, whether it's touch, it's taste, it's feeling, whether it's the aroma and the scent. You're just encouraged to play with all of that, all those elements, and really determine what's really moving you right now. What brings you to the connection with yourself in this moment, you know, again. Because it's that wholeness of the divine self-connection in that sacred space that will help nourish you at this particular time. So find that temple within, nourish the body, because your body is a temple, right? And you know, notice that you know, the warmth that you're receiving from the divine, and the softness that you have of your gentle touch, and you know, it is all about letting go and experiencing those pleasures. Okay, so there you have it. And any more about you over here that's going on, Aries? Her grace. Okay, her grace. This is beautiful, and this is really, all this blue and this purple is about the, you know, the crown chakra. And sorry for the glare, apologize for that. We've got the beautiful sun and the natural light that's coming through the window right now. But what this is saying is your throat chakra as well as your crown chakra. Okay, the messages from above come through your crown chakra. Your throat chakra is in obviously what you say, you know, kind of in that type of thing, and how you're feeling, your communication, you know, all of that together. But that's what is actually coming through here. Okay, it's like the colors of the chakra to me are just really kind of shining through for me, you know, in this card, and making it apparent. And it all is about you're using your intuition, right? Using your intuition, and also using, you know, your having a clear perspective, right? It's almost as that you've got, you know, to you're following your intuition and your wisdom, and you understand the true meaning of life, and you're going through it, with the grace and with the poise and with the humbleness, as well as the enlightenment through that process. When I said meditation, it's almost as if she's doing a warrior pose. Those of you who are avid yoga, people out there are definitely can kind of see that too. But she carries this veil around her that is almost so graceful. Okay, so it is quite beautiful. It is quite beautiful through the process. So that's what I'm seeing here. Now, what about this other person? Let's take a look at this other person. Ooh, okay, so check this out. Okay, so here's the one side, right? So we get this two people holding hands together, and then we talk about the embrace, getting into the temple, just knowing that something is without knowing and being graceful. And look at what you have here. Isn't this beautiful? So it's two people coming even closer together. And this is actually called intimacy. So I think that's, finding that divine temple, the temple not only within yourself, with the divine, but also as a union with this other person. Now, this is an 8 card, and the 8s are so above as below. So it's a 35 card that reduces to an 8. So this is talking about intimacy, and this is about your vulnerability, and the vulnerability to be able to come together with another in some way, shape, or form, and grow spiritually. It's really time to share yourself openly with that other person and let down any barriers that could have held you back. Now, not only, from the divine world, because when you do that, it actually cuts you off from these beautiful experiences in your life. And this is saying, expect nothing, but be open to receive everything. Okay, because sometimes that can happen. Okay, so it's quite gorgeous. All right, so you're brave enough to allow yourself to be truly lived by the divine. And when this comes up, this is saying to you've kind of recently, perhaps this other person has opened themselves up in a new way to meet you and to meet the divine. And in doing so, they're sharing themselves, with you as well as you with them. And this is saying this person is being encouraged to do it because they're ready to be seen and received better than ever before. So Aries, if this person has had a problem opening up in some way, shape, or form, just know that is a struggle that they're aware of, and they know they need to work on that. And it's something that they are ready to be seen, and they are ready to be received. And I think that they can actually do it in your presence in some way. So that's what's happening. And it's also about becoming one, right? As above as below, it's kind of like you're both, is a spiritual connection as well as an intimate connection, okay? And you're just bathing in the warmth of each other's embrace, all right? So let's see what else wants to come up for this other person. Let's see what wants to come up. She is the moon, okay? So, wow, this is beautiful. This has to do with, again, you've got the same colors of the purple and the green and the blues, right? So this is about the heart chakra of things that are hidden, that this is saying is that they no longer need to hide anymore, because almost like the moon is something that is hidden, right? And then you've got the green that's stemming up from the moon, and the green represents the heart chakra, okay? And it represents, that's kind of wrapping around her and going through her heart and through her body. And this is saying is that that this energy needs to have an open heart for the light to shine through, okay? And then to open, you can see a little bit of that pale violet color, which is talking about the sixth, the crown chakra, which is all about focusing on connection to the universe and connection to spirit. It is honoring the divine within them, and in all things, and understand that they are connected. So I think that this person is really understanding that they're connected with you in some way, shape, or form on a spiritual level, but they're also connected in getting more connected with the divine, okay? They're getting more connected with the divine, therefore themselves, and therefore the light is actually coming out, and the light is actually coming out to be seen, okay? And there's more light, beautiful light coming from the heart, and and that's that green of the heart chakra, which is all about love and relationships. Okay, so what else for this other person that wants to come through for you, Aries? Let's see what that is. Ooh, this is really beautiful. Now, okay, would this other person be asking for a hand in marriage by any chance? This is quite beautiful. This is about acceptance. And I don't know if you can see this, but you can see that there's an entity right over here that is watching this union, okay? This is acceptance. And whether it's you or that other person. Now, the divine is spirit is watching over this connection and blessing this connection in some way, shape, or form. And that's what wants to come through. So take a look at this a little bit closer and you can probably see the divine that's kind of looking. I'm sorry for the glare, guys. They're tilted a little bit. And you can actually see it's being watched. Every good deed that has been, that this person has been doing or whatever's happened in this relationship is being watched over. But this is accepting. And this is a 55 card. 5 plus 5 equals 10. It's a new beginning. And it's this person is also not only accepting his or herself, but also accepting the hand of another. And you can see it here again over here as well, right? And, of course, that you can see it here in the embrace here, okay? And obviously the divine has a hand in this as well, okay? So there's a lot of green in here, and what this is talking to me about is that has to do with the heart chakra, love and relationships, which you'll also notice there's a little bit of red in here as too, which talks about the root chakra, which is the foundation, okay? You've got to have that strong foundation, and that's going to be key as well. So that's what's coming through over here, and that's what I'm seeing for this other person. Now, a little bit further into the number here, actually into this card here is just about that, accepting the gentle touch. This is saying that you're completely received. This person is completely received just as they are with you. And it's so beautiful. And I think they're being able to open up, and they're knowing that they're able to do that and be at peace in doing that. And there's nothing for this person to change other than to be themselves. And it's as if that you have made an offering of a prayer, of an attachment, or they have to you, and a desire to make a contribution to the world, and something's being transformed, and the next step is about to begin. And it could be the next step in this relationship in a better way and with better connection. It's almost as if like the way that the story was written at the beginning, maybe had to do a little bit of work on it. And so what had to happen is there was a little bit of a rewrite in this, to which, where this person had to connect with them, his or herself, to be able to offer the true person that they truly are. And what's happened is you're both mirroring each other, but you're both going through this together, and it's quite divine. It's almost as if destiny has a hand in this whole process. So it's beautiful. Now, it might indicate marriage in some way, shape, or form as well, or at least a next step up level in the relationship. What else wants to come through? Simplicity, right? Simplicity. This is a 4 card, which I talked about, kind of the root chakra, which is about the foundation, right? The 4 corners, create that good foundation in a home. Well, that also is a 4 card, and this talks about simplicity, okay? And what this is saying is that, sometimes of doing, it's obviously simple things together are going to be really, really helpful in the process of this relationship. But it's also, is to really this is about living each day simply one at a time, and having gratitude for whatever you possibly can, and be grateful, because you can't perceive a gift hiding in your struggles, okay? This is saying just to trust the goodness in your life that's happening now, and becoming into the fullness of all that you really, really are. And this is saying that everything is going to be all right. And don't add fuel to the fire in this current situation. Just look for ways, to sort out the complicated matters, with ease. In other words, don't force anything. Don't try to prematurely try to make something happen, or be something, or make something be what it was not meant to be. Let things unfold, and let complicated matters work itself out, okay? Because sometimes ingredients need to cook, they need to marinate, they need to percolate, right? So that they can become that beautiful meal, that 12-course meal, whatever that is, right? So circumstances that you might be struggling against at this particular time, Aries, will right themselves, but they'll right themselves in time. So what this wants you to do is to be patient and be present, and also to look at the, kind of be like that eagle that's flying high above this, is saying, look at a bigger perspective, and universe is saying, hey, let this unfold as it should, because all is happening the way it should. Okay, all right. So it doesn't want you to push things to which it would come right back and smack you in the face. Okay, it wants you to let things go. Okay, and to bow down to the universe, bow down to the higher perspective here. Okay, so that's what wants to come into play. So make it very simple, okay, through the process. So let's see what it is that this person would like to say to you, and what you would like to say to this person. Okay, let's see what wants to come out for you here. And sorry guys for this temporary setup, so hope you work with me. But let's see what's going on. All right, so here it is for you. This is what you want to say to them. Okay. Okay, well, I'm sorry I made such a big deal out of something so unimportant at this time. Okay? So perhaps there was something little that you were hanging on to, and perhaps it was kind of blown out of proportion, much more than you probably had anticipated it to be. And you just kind of hung on that with all your dear life with both hands. This is saying is to release, right? To release. Let things flow with ease. Let it fly like the eagle above, and make it very, very simple through the process. So that's what this is talking about. So this is just saying that you're owning up to your own piece of your badness, if that is actually the case with some of you. Now it is with some of you. It could be with, you're gonna know, but that's what's actually coming up, and that's pretty courageous. Okay, so let's see what this other person wants to say to you. Here it is. Okay, you didn't do anything wrong. I know it's my own craziness. Trust me to get through it. So maybe it was something that was unimportant. Maybe and maybe you felt like you make it a big deal about it, but this person's saying, yeah, that could have been the case, but what I'm concentrating here on is I'm just going through a little bit of craziness, and it's just because I'm opening up my heart and I'm trying to see the light, and I'm growing through this process and going through changes in the heart, and doing that and with someone, is a little scary for me. So, they're just going through some growth periods, and there's no doubt about that. That's very much the case. I think you are too, Aries, as well. Okay. Let's see any other messages that want to come out, what you want to say to them. Let's see what this wants to come out. Okay, here it is. Your behavior was threatening to me, and I'm trying to tell you about it, but not to make you feel bad, but so I can feel close to you again. So this is just to kind of bring attention something that maybe was a little bit scary in some way, shape, or form to you, and you don't want to make a big deal about it, but it's just something that you want to just kind of break through, so we don't have to keep going back to this same behavior in some way, shape, or form. And I think that that's what this person is going through, is breaking some sort of behavior areas. Note your comments below, but I'm thinking that's what it is. And so that's what I feel is really coming through, because the bottom line is you just want to feel close to that person again. Okay, and let me see what else wants to come into play. Here it is. It's hard admitting I might be wrong. Okay. Okay, well, that's a very courageous, and it takes a lot of self-esteem to say something like this. Okay, so that's what's coming through here. And yes, it's hard to admit we're wrong sometimes, but acknowledging it will have this feeling of a virtual clean heart. It really, really does. And it kind of cleans things out, a little bit, and makes things very peaceful, very congruent in the relationship. So let me see what the soul trees have to say for you, Aries, and what wants to come out for you in terms of that. What advice can the soul trees give you in this process? Let's see what that is. Here it is. What is it? We've got self-love. The red is the root chakra. You've got the solar plexus that's right in the middle that you see that yellow with. But this is definitely about self-love. When things are going crazy with this person, just focus on your deep self-love, and that's going to be very, very important, okay? So that's what wants to come out. And it's all about appreciation, self-care, and truly honoring yourself. And that's what I think that, why that sensual card came out, because it was really focusing on loving the goddess, or the godlike qualities that are in you. What else can help you in this process? Nourishment, more nourishment, okay? Green is the heart chakra. You've got kind of like that pink color there too, which could also signify even the root chakra as well, and then of course kind of like the brownish type, which also can actually really talk about like kind of orangish, like, which could be about that sacral chakra too. But this is about nourishment, so it is about nourishing yourself. Again, more of that self-love. I think that's going to be very, very, very key in this process, so just keep that in mind. Going to be very, very key. So good food, getting massages, just different things like that I think can help really, really open things up a little bit, and also just physically, spiritually, and emotionally taking good care of yourself. And then anything else? Okay. Emotional release. Yeah, you're going through an emotional release, and that dark is the divine there, and that is all about just really opening up. And this is really beautiful. This is beautiful. Relief of emotions and vulnerability is healing and freeing. So this is beautiful. You're mirroring each other in some way, shape, or form, guys. So I love this. I look forward to seeing you the second half of April. And until then, namaste.